too Squall and Fury. Fundamentally speaking, there's little difference between snow and rain, yet people lavish praise only upon...
The wind knows me. Fallen winds, adorn my night!
Time for a light show!
Solidify!
One with wind and cloud!
Fire hazard!
Wind Strider!
Stabilize!
Into the wind! Clouds high! The birds come!
The fuse is lit!
The world falls completely silent, and I can sleep. There are leaves around. And I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Add astro.
No wonder you're...
Take your pick.
Today's recommendation is add astro. Add astro.
wind knows me.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be...
It also reminded... My partner here put the dots together for me. I feel like we should try to reopen... Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking, and after that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guards said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a third person?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring in... The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys? But hold on. If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his own. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callis the Unfaithful epithet. As many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis. Even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula. No matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I...
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to... Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name.
Oh, so you've...
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound...
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy... Callis did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rosula from the... It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the... Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these 2 friends of...
Yes. These two are my partner. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related.
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? If you want to go through the original files from your father's case,
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question.
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching, if I had to make an analogy. When you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but if you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of... So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private unit. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though...
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your invest. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find...
Into the wind. Yeah.
Hello. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just...
Sure. I will let him know right...
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House.
Yes, I've never seen...
Oh, you were at the Opera House.
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of...
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nature.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side...
Oh, and what makes you say...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also... If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, if anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last mo-
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with... The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest...
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more. See you...
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need more. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his...
We've talked to all three suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right! Florent mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that... If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection. Makes sense. But without besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been... It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret...
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since... But who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford... It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel... Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own synth business? Florent? It is true that he was... But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security.
So you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able... Thierry, you say? Huh. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think...
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple... If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another...
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that so?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind...
Wait, how? None of our investigation.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigation.
Right. Because they'll think they've already.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear...
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Just as expected of my— Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will be You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the op. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to—
We'll help you, just like—
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get—
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that it's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with...
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Quit following me. You even want this? Quit following me.
The doctor will see.
The wind rises. Take it and have fun. Too slow. Quit following me. Too slow. following me. Squall and Fury. Too slow. Too slow. The wind rises. Quit following me.
Unnecessary.
Mind the side effects.
You even want this?
A bitter pill to swallow.
Too slow.
Huh. According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. Finally found it! Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth... Ah, you're right. An important place like this is... Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall...
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a...
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to
That case had nothing to do with him. You've...
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit, and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosu?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorney, members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away. Mr. Marcel, you will not...
Apologies. It all just happens. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is...
Very well. In that case...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. To the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect...
Navia, come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clorand in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the... These are the known facts about...
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still... in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from... This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved... Something's... The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared everything with Callus, hoping to seek the latter's protection. Unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility, and had sent out another assassin. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version.
So that's what happened. Wait. You're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should...
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, 1. Do you have...
I'm afraid not.
Boo! If you don't have any...
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that...
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable
Why do I feel like for...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been...
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose... At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee... What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic...
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearance.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine... But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect... Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my...
So, you mean to say, your father...
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about...
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was...
Yes. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken account in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live, or if I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus...
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's...
Right? What she said was fascinating, but...
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reason, I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your...
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Not what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only... Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah, well, let Uncle Mars... Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high... In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle.
No, it's not your fault.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first... You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anger?
Seems like she got the wrong guy.
At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met...
This isn't just about me. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people whose... Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those... And whose image? Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Too slow.
We'll see about that. Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter, know my...
Squall and Fury.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
The wind rises.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Behold!
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Mind the sun.
Too late for regret. Truth repeats its course. Witness the power of Gugwa.
Unsightly insects. The wind rises. Ja!
A bitter...
Now the path is clear! Let's go! The doctor will see you now.
A bitter pill to...
A scholar's journey shouldn't end.
The doctor will see you now.
Taking a turn for the better.
Body at the... Rain cutter!
Behold!
Quit following me.
A bitter pill to...
We'll see about that. Here's the rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse.
Cry louder!
After all that, we finally made it. Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things? Huh? You mean the girls? And then they were, and all the boxes of things, these names. Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective... Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation... Yep, it's about finding someone to... This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to... The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the pit. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. And that's, if you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth. But the pure stuff can dissolve. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating... What's this over here? Looks like some kind of... Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just... How can someone write something that terrible and such... You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did it all. Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim. No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories... Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is that way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon will... You take that side, and Paimon will take this side. Check everything. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her dead. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet. So many! A whole page's worth! But the final name she decided on was Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that
And whose image do you see, Mark? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you do know that.
I'm merely surprised.
I was waiting for...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already know after your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her... You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records...
So that's it. Even the villains in opera and with that, Marcel's motive has now been...
This information regarding your past also dismantled... Well, Marcel, do you... You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away. Instead of... So, you never noticed how we changed.
You also never understood Boss's real expectation.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself.
Do you really think I wanted to do it? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from them, they said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, you only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes. But I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Do you all see? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have? I did all of that. And in the end, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get...
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards!
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to say... Venier, please, Venier. Don't think badly.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charge...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the... The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vache, and worked as an adventurer with his partner. During an underwater expedition, Venier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of... Vache learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel. During the course of his research, Vache discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with... After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vache decided to assassinate their Although the assassination did not go as Vache expected, he was able to turn Callus into... And just recently, Vache attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar... However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vache's machinations that he was eventually successful. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case. With the oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charge. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique, guilty.
Guards! Take the...
Good. It's what he does.
With that, the serial...
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the... He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely...
The day our late boss had always hoped for as final...
Yeah. See, Papa? Spina's...
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have... Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Not the real criminal? Isn't it time...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right?
Through evidence... It has been established that Mr. Tartag, the guilty party, has been identified, and thus it is... We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse... Oratrice Mécanique... Guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just... What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunction?
Huh? This has never happened before.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case.
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final... Guards, please take the suspect into custody.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Novelette? What's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either.
What does Lady...
She says she has no idea either? But that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been...
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. And if you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he posed, all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my... Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance.
So she chose to make her escape after all.
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the—
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known.
Squall and Fury.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Stop resisting arrest! Cease!
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vash? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make...
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no, it's...
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spirit? Very well. I will...
Your Honor,
I will go with him. You do not need...
In that case, I shall leave him in your
Thank you. Thank you.
Behold!
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing.
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard—
Vinier, it's me!
Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier?
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say— You look a lot older than I remember.
It's been more than 20 years. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without...
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better... If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a... If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And it's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all
You... Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vinier. I am the sacrifice. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousness, our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals. But I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vinier.
Why? But then, where is Vinier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what— You are a liar. A heartless murderer. The only thing you are not is Vinier. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vinier's.
No! Vinier!
She can't hate me.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came, but on top of that, she also said that because it's her final. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache?
Vache.
Vache!
Vache.
Vache!
Drown.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something great.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips. Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died. This time, though, everyone in Poisson.
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put... Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just... well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering she was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in that case.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande.
Oh, are you two on better...
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarande, it was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's...
Oh, that's great! Paimon also thought Clarande wasn't actually a bad...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin... Oh, actually, there's still one last...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave, and tell him the truth of what happened. And on top of that, just...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too!
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be...
Yeah, you're right. Huh. This is where my father's grave is.
Huh? There's someone there already.
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel
In that case, I will stop.
You really could use some pointers on In any case.
Well, ever since that day, there was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than... Oh, Rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more, but Mr. Callus proved me utterly, and if not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case, Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for men, and in the end, from a certain perspective, a justice that's higher than. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
So you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside.
Sorry about that. Self-express.
Didn't I just say?
So Navia and Nervaletzi. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done. Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing? Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too... Anyway, Nervalette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can...
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia...
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we...
I see. Then is there something...
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this, since you're
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to... My apologies. My investigation has... However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not...
But you also said you...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the... As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this.
Huh. So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice is...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to... While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger, if we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit...
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred...
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne. Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Lenny that told us...
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intel. If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we...
Is there anything else you'd like to...
the bad guys referred to that special water as water...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say...
Huh. So it really was where everything began.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a...
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But if that's the case, then...
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life... To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown... Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Your sibling. Another blonde-haired traveler. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to... Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind, and return to Palais Memornia.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your...
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
All right, you... Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. Too late for regret.
Take it and have fun. Too slow.